Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of World of Warships, the Asia Server Diaries with Fire and 13. Now, in today's episode, I have a couple of battles lined up for you where I'm divisioned up with some good friends of mine who have finally gotten themselves into the open beta and are thoroughly enjoying it. Now, in this battle, I am divisioned up with my good buddy Snowy Exile over here. We're both in destroyers, and he has decided to head down to the right over there, which is south and behind the islands. I have decided to cut across right into the middle to put some pressure on this destroyer right up here. There he is. I put out some HE shots, and I let off some torpedoes in the hopes to try and deter him. And I did not expect him to come charging in my direction, but there he is coming at me, probably getting his torpedoes ready to fire at me. But he's in a lot of trouble. He's on fire. He's taking a lot of damage, and I unfortunately was not able to avoid that island in front of me. But that's okay, because he misses, and my good friend there fired off some torpedoes, also misses. And there we go. We managed to take out that destroyer and picking up ourselves the first blood. But sadly, here come another set of torpedoes, and I just have nowhere to go. And I've also used my repair module. So now I'm just waiting to eventually die because of the flooding. I try to set off another set of torpedoes, but sadly I am too late. Now, in World of Warships, getting yourself into a division and playing with some friends and having to be able to communicate with some of your teammates is vital to improve your chances of winning. Now, as you can see, we are 3 against 7, so the odds are not in our favor. Now, it's also true that in any game, teamwork is always beneficial, but in World of Warships, you cannot carry your team as a solo player, especially if you're 1 against 7. And at this stage, I'm just telling Snowy here to be careful not to get too close to them, so that he will he will enter into the detectable range. But it looks like the enemy does not notice that he is there. But they actually would know that he is there because their base is being capped. They just can't see where he is. And our St. Louis there manages to take out the enemy St. Louis, which is fantastic. Now the enemy battleship up ahead over them makes a bit of a misplay in my opinion, as he starts turning left around the island. This, sure, it gives him some cover against the St. Louis, but it also means that he have to work his way around 2 islands to get to my friend Snowy, as he now decides to go right up to that island on the left and hide behind it. Now, if that enemy battleship had turned right around, he could have made his way to the cap circle a lot faster and be able to prevent him from capping. And as you can see, both our allies have been taken out. I'm just going to speed up the play a little bit here, just so that I don't bore you with the rest of the cap. Now I'm telling Snowy to get up right next to the island, as close as he can, to make it harder for the enemy to shoot him. And as you can see, there was some random fire coming in, and we know that all of the enemy are just over the island, so he is relatively safe and is able to cap it out. So congratulations to Snowy, he carries us to victory. And now on to the second battle. Here I am, division up with Snowy again, and with another friend, Spawn008. And they have just managed to all get themselves to Tenryu, and we decide to go divisioning up in a Tenryu party. And here we are making our way north, and this time we're starting on the right hand side of the map of Big Race. And as we can see, there's the first enemy ship that gets into range. Now the majority of our team have decided to move up north on this flank, and someone makes a call to try and focus down that enemy ship, which is good. It lets all your teammates know to just fire at that one target, just to try and take him out as soon as possible. Now up ahead I notice that smoke over there, so I know that there is a destroyer somewhere around. So I'm just getting ready to fire my torpedoes. At the same time, I'm just waiting to get clear of the island to put some shots in. There we go. Now, I have a feeling that that destroyer might come around this side of the island, so I just fire them away. Mostly in the hopes to deter him from coming through to put some torpedoes into us. And back to firing, just putting out the damage, and there he is. There's that destroyer. And I think he just notices those torpedoes, and one and two, he's down. So that was quite lucky for me. Unfortunate for the enemy. And whoops, take some evasive maneuver, not to try and run into my friend there. And here, I get clear of the island so I can put more effective fire into the enemy team. Now, there's not too many of us up in the front here, but that goes the same for the enemy team as well. I let off another set of torpedoes, once again, just to pretty much make the battleship up over there turn away. As you can see, he's on fire, losing a lot of his health. And at this point, I decide to keep turning around in circles just to make it harder for the enemy to hit me, as well as to pretty much just try and act as a decoy. But sadly, Snowy there takes a few shots, but comes off relatively okay. Didn't take too much damage there. In fact, he didn't even take any from the looks of things. And there we go, the enemy team are slowly pushing their way up and around. And the same goes for our team. And once again, I decided not to fire my torpedoes as there was no one within range. And here comes some enemy torpedoes. Nope, nope. Just too far away. And that's the thing with torpedoes, you gotta make sure people are within your range. I mean, you can spam them anyway, but just on the off chance that your allies are in front of you and could possibly run into it, just, yes, don't even bother trying to fire torpedoes when no one's within range. You never know, someone might come around a corner when you need those torpedoes, so that's also another reason to hold back on it. And here I am just continuously putting out fire. Me and my buddies are trying to do some good work, circling around, putting out some fire, waiting for our allies to finally make their way up and around. As you can see, we got quite a lot of firepower up here, but so have the enemy team. Now I decide to just slow down, because I'm not the first target that most people would try and shoot for, because I'm right at the back. So I can put out some effective fire on this St. Louis over here. You can see he's on fire, he's taking a lot of fire, taking a lot of damage. And here comes the... And our shot hit. Oh, that was so close. Couldn't get the kill. But that's okay, he's down and out. And back to work. putting out some fire here and there. Now I noticed a enemy destroyer just trying to sneak his way up to fire off some torpedoes. So I let off some fire, hopes of trying to hit him. But sadly, at that range, it's quite tricky to hit those pesky little destroyers. Now, now I see that Kuma hugging the border there, and he's slowly edging his way closer, and he's well within my range, so I decide, why not, I'll just fire some torpedoes. Hopefully he won't see them. Hopefully he's not paying too much attention. As you can see, when you hug the border like that, it makes it a little bit difficult for people to try and hit you. I absolutely hate it when they do it, but I can't complain. I do it myself sometimes, depending on the situation, especially if I'm outnumbered. Here I am just watching where I'm heading, making sure I don't get caught up with the allied battleship there, because he will just drag me along for a ride. There we go, another set of enemy torpedoes that just end up going nowhere. And there we go, I managed to hit that Kuma up there. Put more fire out. As you can see, it's quite a intense battle going on, as pretty much the majority of the players are up in this corner of the map. And fire shots are going out everywhere. Now, I decide to try and get up a little bit closer to put some shots out and to hopefully drop off some torpedoes at the same time. In the meantime, just try to focus that guy on barely any health. And he is down. And there we go, I just managed to fire off some torpedoes before I get taken out by, I think it was one of the enemy battleships there. But that looks like it's going to go nowhere. And now we just skip ahead to near the end of the battle to Snowy, who is our last remaining buddy in the division to be alive and still have most of his hit points left. Which is quite amazing that he didn't take too much damage from that intense battle up on the top there. And now, as you can see, the numbers are against the enemy team. They are in 2 battleships. They could potentially one-shot a couple of our allies, but with this many people shooting at you, you really don't have much of a chance. Now, it looks like our team have decided not to bother capping and just trying to go for the kills, which is okay in my opinion. You know, if you can afford to, why not? You get more experience out of it. You can put out more damage, basically increase your rating. If they implement the same sort of rating system as they do in World of Tanks, that is. Anyway, looks like that battleship off to the left will be dead soon. And our friendly destroyer and some battleships off to the right there, just putting in more shots into the battleship on the right here. And Snowy here is just slowly making his way closer to that battleship in the hopes of putting out some torpedoes on him by the looks of things. And there we go, down to 1 enemy left. And as we can see, now he wasn't telling me what he was doing, but I can pretty much tell that he is getting ready to fire some torpedoes. And he does. And I tell him, no, that was a bad thing to do. As you can see, your ally's just right there. But luckily, the enemy gets destroyed before Snowy does the damage. And here we got 99,000 credits, 2,500 XP, First Blood and Devastating Strike, and I have a base of 1,100-ish XP, and Snowy's up in the top, just over 100 more than me, uh, and poor Spawn down at the bottom with 400 XP. And there we go. So getting yourself into a vision can help you perform a lot better, especially with the communication. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give it a like. And if you've got any comments about what I should do better, what do you think of the video, just leave it down in the bottom and I will read them and try to do my best. Once again, thanks for watching and we'll catch you next time.